nature, which is in by definition, is one, it applied on a broad scale to all kinds of fucking spending, trillions and trillions of dollars. It applied as part of a clear effort under Project 2025 to bring the Congress to heel. The architects that, what was the office that instituted this freeze? The OMB. Who are they putting as the head of the OMB? Russell Vought. He talks about this, and this guy, the guy who said he's in a post-constitutional era, which he knows, and he's fucking lying to you. So he's trying to do this little shell game where it's the same thing that Republicans and MAGA people do all the time. You know, you find a little thing, be like, okay, so if you just pause this one little loan to this one student and at one little time, so completely minimizing what's going on and narrowing the focus into what we're talking about here, which is a broad fucking spending freeze of legislative enacted appropriations of all fucking kinds. Your comparison is fucking stupid.
Wait, and you agree. So your only contention is that he didn't put like a definite time end. If he put the end of the freeze, hold on. If he put, if he froze all the funding you're talking about, and let's say put an end date of like, I don't know, 3 weeks, would that be constitutional?
So it would, in my opinion, still be unconstitutional. I was going off what, so the reason why I'm focusing on indefinite is because you're now changing what the definition of indefinite is. You're changing what the definition of indefinite is. You said, I don't know, and everyone saw you weasel around. So, but what happened is you said it would be, of course, unacceptable for the president to do an indefinite pause. That's what you said. So I'm like, oh, great, because I happen to know that it's an indefinite pause. And so now we're doing this little.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Not gonna lie. I think peace goes better than Destiny at debating. Unironically.
Fucking word game, and so that's why we're focusing here.
Answer my question
but to answer your question, no. If the president put a year-long pause of this con and
well, once I get my stuff ready, I wanted to check it out real quick. I want to see what he's talking about. You know, it's good to support fellow troops in the information battles of America for American democracy. You don't know what's gonna happen, brother. But yeah, I hate these panels. I can't stand Wick. Who's this guy? What side is he on? Why is he wearing a mask and then is that an alien mask? Why is he wearing he's wearing the Hawaiian shirt. It's a Boogaloo Boy thing, right? The Boogaloo Boys wear the Hawaiian shirts, right? And this guy has the gay American flag hat on. So is he, which one of these guys is on Peace Coast side?
Find it to
I said 3 weeks. I said 3 weeks.
And okay, define it end in 3 weeks.
Yeah, but you think a year long is okay.
You think a year long? So this entire debate is going to be a continuum.
Yes or no?
Wait. This entire debate is going to be a continuum fallacy where we have to say, we have to say, look at him. This entire debate is going to be a continuum fallacy, which you could apply to any constitutional principle, where you could say, okay, I don't know, but yeah. So to answer your question, I believe it is unconstitutional for the president to pause aid without congressional approval. You know, you can always find a carve out. You can always find an exception that proves the rule, right? You know this. You know that if there was
an 3 weeks,
yeah. So
I want to know. I actually am curious about this with the impoundment, or like, I wonder what AI thinks. What does AI think? Can a president pause funding if it's not indefinite for the purpose of review?
So you understand, right, that you can always find an exception that can prove the rule, and constitutional law is like that. It's filled with these little gaps, and he is trying to take advantage of that and take.
Yeah.
Advantage of the fact that the Constitution is a short document to say, oh, I guess I can't really say anything's constitutional unless you have the precise nanosecond in which it becomes unconstitutional. That's what he's trying to do here. Don't let him distract you. What's going on here is a broadband and
also,
yeah, every ruling that we have from the Government Accountability Office, the Supreme Court in general, it was in 2019, Ukraine aid freeze was said to not be okay. To not be doable. Biden paused the border wall funding temporarily while reviewing the contracts, but that was like I just burped. That was because they were reviewing like specific contracts. It was a very short amount of time. It wasn't just like an indefinite freeze to do what they're doing now, which is nothing.
When I answered it, I said it's unconstitutional.
I want to
answer it, I said it's unconstitutional.
We gotta get.
Make him answer this question. No,
I answered it. I said it's unconstitutional.
Wait,
I answered it. I said it's unconstitutional. Did you hear me say it? I just said it again. 3 weeks. Unconstitutional.
I think it's because Pisco actually cares. He cares a lot about it. Like, he cares at a very deep level. not just at the surface level of I want to be right. Like, he really does care about the repercussions of it to a very, as one of the forefront reasons why he wants to do it as well. A restraining order was put on Elon today. Well, the restraining order on Elon Musk. Well, that's the fun story that's happening today too. Is essentially.
Yeah.
Boom. 1 second. So. I want to do a quick reaction to the Joe Rogan thing. So, a Doge staffer with top-tier access to the Treasury payment systems abruptly resigned in disgrace after explosive social media posts, endorsed eugenics, and called for the repeal of the Civil Rights Act. All right, so endorsing eugenics is wild. Repealing Civil Rights Act is wild. But that is the policy perspective of the Trump administration. Charlie Kirk has talked about this for a while. Elon Musk has spoken about this for a while. The only reason people don't know the Trump administration wants to do this is because they lie to people. But apparently the staffer, he said something about there's no way he'd ever date outside of his race. He would never date someone outside of his race. And they backed a eugenic immigration policy as well. So that's the state of Doge right now, which is awesome, super fun. And a lot of people right now as well, the stop order with a lot of the funding, a lot of people with experimental drugs and devices in their bodies were left with no access to monitoring or care, which is obviously a really bad thing as well. There's healthcare clinics shutting down because of the federal freezes, being constricted to the point where they have to fire people, let people go, and the departments are actually falling apart in many of these situations. So this funding freeze is having really broad impacts that are not good at all, folks. Make sure you drop a like on the YouTube Shorts stream, by the way. Drop a like on the YouTube Shorts stream. Helping in the algorithm. And the phone number's up there if anyone wants to call in to whatever. I don't know. There's a couple of things I want to be able to make a video on really quick. So, Donald Trump talked about this 60 Minutes interview forever. He's using his power as the executive in a very corrupt way to force CBS to release the full copy of the Kamala interview in 60 Minutes, where they made no edits. By the way, it's a First Amendment right, essentially, for a company to make edits in an interview they conducted. And, Donald Trump said it was election interference. This might be the biggest broadcasting scandal in history. The drama queen, dude. The drama queen. Also, the USAID thing, illegally paying large sums of money to Politico. Illegally, it never happened in general, so it cannot be illegal because this did not happen in general. But for Politico Pro is bought by Republicans as well. Actually, more Republicans, remember, more Republicans purchased Politico Pro than did Democrats. So the idea that the USAID was funding Politico for the left wing to be biased with their evil left wing messaging, which is basically facts, completely not true. Was CBS paid for committing this fraud? I'm not going to watch the entire edited interview again, or unedited interview again, the one they released with no edits, because it was nothing, okay? The answers they cut out were the same answers. Context was not changed. The answers were not changed. It was maybe a couple words in a different order, but it changed nothing about the representation of the interview or about the election. So CNN had a really good clip. I'm happy they did this. This shows the hypocrisy, and not even hypocrisy. We need to make sure we label it what it is. It's evil, it's intentional, it's deceitful. They are trying to lie to people constantly. We know none of this is true, but they push these narratives regardless. And Trump using the executive power to go after political enemies is really bad. It has a chilling effect on the First Amendment, etc. But Fox News is exposed here by CNN.
Broadcasters have a right to edit interviews. It's editorial judgment. For example, Fox in June 2024 aired this.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
But that wasn't Trump's actual whole answer. It was a taped interview. And as Semaphore noted at the time, Mr. Trump, in the full, unedited version, sounded a lot less definitive.
And by the way, remember, the Kamala edits on 60 Minutes did not change the context at all. You can watch it, you can see the transcripts. The context of the presentation, actually, the part they cut out might have looked better. It might have looked better than what they kept in. But they did not edit it in a way that changed the context or changed the representation or made Kamala look better in any way. Now, with this situation...
About releasing the Epstein files. Here's the whole answer.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you know, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would, or at least...
Do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others. Certainly...
It's hilarious. He was asked about JFK. He's like, yeah, release everything about JFK. MLK, release everything about MLK. Release everything we got, bro. Let all the Doge kids go and raid the treasury and just steal every part of our information base. Let's release all of our classified intel out into the open for China and Russia. Yeah, let's do it, guys. And then they said, okay, what about like Jeff Epstein? And he's like, ooh, Epstein, you know... Yeah, I'll release that, but that one, not as much. The other ones were just like, yes, I'll release it, okay? Yes, I'll release it. But this one is like, you know, I'll release it, but like, I don't know, because like some people, you know, in that world, they lie a lot. They lie all the time. Some people might get hurt if you release the files, you know, the people lie in that world. But yeah, I mean, maybe I would think about possibly releasing it. So Trump here is being very evasive because obviously he knows he's on it, bro. Trump is on the Epstein list. He definitely did stuff with minors. I'm just going to say it. He did. 100%. Donald Trump never has to equivocate. Like, he never needs to say all this stuff if he did not actually do it. Oh, yeah, they treat some people unfairly.
About the way he died, it would be interesting to find out what happened there, because that was a weird situation, and the cameras didn't happen to be working, et cetera, et cetera. But you'd go a long way toward that one.
Either Trump did or his friends did, okay? Either Trump did or his friends did. Because there's a reason he hesitated so much on the answer about Epstein. But they cut this part out of the interview. They cut this part out of the official interview. They just had him saying yes again to make it look like he was not being biased. So Fox News selectively edited this to make Trump look better.
Quite different, right? Now look, Fox had every right to make that edit. Now, did that edit make Trump look more decisive, less equivocating? Did it make Trump, therefore, look better? Yep. Was that why Fox did it? I have no idea. Maybe they just had some timing issues. Either way, it's Fox's right to do it, just as it was Fox's right to do it when they had Trump's surprise visit to a Bronx barbershop.
I never saw this
on
one.
Air, which they also cut down significantly, and coincidentally or not, flatteringly, Fox had the right to do it. And not just because cable and broadcast networks have different rules. Now, the 60 Minutes...
You also need to fit it into a certain time slot. You also need to make sure you do it in, you know, there's commercials, there's different breaks. So you might need to cut it down, cut off the fat, and make it fit into the window you have. It's not a YouTube upload. You have a television schedule to go off of. So sometimes you have to edit it down. You can't take a 5-hour conversation, obviously, and make that fully representative, you know, or make like your 5 seconds represent that 5 hours. So there's a lot to keep in mind there.
Minutes editing case would almost certainly fail spectacularly in court, according to legal experts. But Paramount Global, which owns CBS News, is currently trying to merge with Skydance Media. And in order to do that...
Oh, he's calling him out directly. I did not expect him to call out the merger as well. Yeah, so they want to merge, so they don't want to get on Trump's bad side. That's how Trump is weaponizing the government. To get favors from, or to give favors to these companies in return, or quid pro quo.
Paramount will need the approval of the Trump administration, specifically the FCC, which under its new commissioner, Brendan Carr.
Bro, this guy is insane. They're all liars. They're all just like terrible human beings. I saw him talk on Fox News earlier today. He is such a dirty liar.
Has suggested that Trump's news distortion complaint will be considered by the FCC before any merger can be approved.
Bro. Yeah, so 60 Minutes really hurried to get that file to the Trump administration about the unedited Kamala footage without any edits at all. Of course, the unedited footage did not have anything bad in it at all. Not at all. But still, Trump is propagandizing it because his fans will believe anything because they're pathetic. And that's all. They're pathetic. and they'll listen to whatever Daddy Trump says. This was election-changing stuff, election interference, and quite simply, election fraud. Bro, election fraud at a level never seen before. The level, okay, even if you disagree politically, having to be a servant and be this emotionally fragile has to weigh on your ego, bro. It's got to weigh on your ego in some way. Election fraud at a level never seen before. CBS should lose its license. And the cheaters at 60 Minutes should all be thrown out. Remember, nothing came out of them releasing the unedited footage, and they had the right to edit it too. But there was nothing hidden from that footage, the uncut footage. And Trump is still saying they should lose their license. This is anti-First Amendment. This is anti-freedom of the press. This is anti-freedom of speech in general on so many different levels. Another attack on the Constitution from Donald Trump. Directly. Not even trying to hide it. God. You guys can call in if you want on the phone number on the screen. But anyways, one more. Okay, so if you believe this thing Joe Rogan is about to say, all right, you need to really take a step back and talk to God a little bit, because this is one of the dumbest lies in the world, and hearing Joe Rogan even repeat this should discount any opinion Joe Rogan has ever again, because it's some of the dumbest possible logic you can follow in your life.
Saw this, but Elizabeth Warren got confronted, and it's on Twitter this morning. She got confronted about the amount of money that she's received from pharmaceutical drug companies. She said she's never received any money from pharmaceutical.
So Joe Rogan is going to say, all right, Elizabeth Warren, someone who is probably one of the most antitrust, anti-monopoly, anti-capitalist people to ever be in government. You know, big companies hate her. Pharmaceutical companies hate her. Her and Bernie Sanders have been the number one advocates of a system that decommodifies healthcare, or at least restricts the profits of pharmaceutical companies and health insurance companies and healthcare in general. They are anti-capital in this sense. Okay, they are anti-free market. Anyone with a brain knows that Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders are not the corrupt ones in Washington. They are two of the strongest advocates for anti-corruption measures. But Joe Rogan is going to believe, after talking to Bernie Sanders on his podcast, by the way, Joe Rogan is going to believe, because he's probably corrupt as well, he's going to believe the dumbest possible lies you can imagine.
I don't know if you saw this, but Elizabeth Warren got confronted, and it's on Twitter this morning. She got confronted about the amount of money that she's received from pharmaceutical drug companies. She said she's never received any money from pharmaceutical drug companies and never received any monies from any PACs. And then, of course, underneath it, Community Notes strikes again. And, of course, she received millions.
Yeah.
The PACs, 100% true. Okay, she did not receive money from PACs. She did not receive money from pharmaceutical companies. Okay, receiving money from corporations is not the same as receiving money from individual employees.
Fucking liar.
And Joe Rogan's going to say, she's a liar, super confidently. Terrible, weak individual. Terrible. Disgusting.
Well, and it's an arms race.
Yeah.
How can
This guy's a snotty ass liar too. This little dwarf.
pharma cloak the money that it's giving so that there's plausible
How can big pharma cloak the money they're giving so there's plausible deniability?
deniability at the point that Elizabeth Warren is confronted, or Bernie Sanders?
Bernie Sanders was
But they're paid propagandists. Weinstein is especially a paid propagandist.
hilarious. Only 1.5 billion.
or Bernie Sanders?
Bernie Sanders was hilarious. Only 1.5 billion. Only 1.5 million out of 200 million. Only 1.5.
Yep, that's what I saw
First
as
he
well.
tried to say nothing. Only.
Yeah, because RFK attacked Bernie for being the largest recipient of pharmaceutical money. The largest recipient, okay, in American history.
The hardworking people in this country gave him money.
Well, I don't think the Democrats understand that it's over.
See, they point towards, I don't think Democrats understand why they lost or why it's over. It's over because if you want to pride yourself on being dumb and being lazy and not looking up facts and being a complete dumbass, you can. You can be proud to be a dumbass. You could be a really weak individual who thinks it's really cool that I don't know shit about the world. You could just walk through life walking into walls and think, wow, dude, the liberals told me the wall was there. I walked right into it. But if you talk about Bernie Sanders, okay, Democratic socialist, His big thing is he does not take big dollars. So when RFK challenges him, although you have a hard-on for RFK because you're a Trump sexual, all right, and you follow your daddies in media because you're all gay for Trump, your identity is tied up in Trump. You'll worship anything Trump. It's all you have in life is worshiping Trump. You'll ignore that in your brain. Joe Rogan interviewed Bernie. He knows the truth about this. So obviously you look at donations and contributions. They show these numbers in a way that is completely falsely representative. Okay? It's a false representation of what the money actually means. So when it says like nursing associations, hospitals and nursing homes, pharmaceuticals and health products, pharmaceutical manufacturing, health insurance and HMOs. Now, if you look at the biggest corporate donators for Bernie Sanders, I don't know if I have the list anymore, but some of the biggest donators are the U.S. military, for example, and the Department of Defense. I don't know if I still have that list down here. It's definitely down here somewhere. But the point is, you know, you'll see U.S. Navy on there. You'll see a bunch of different branches of government on there as donors. And the reason you'll see that is because if people from these companies donate, they're added into this data set. The data set is from individual donors. So Bernie Sanders gets like 10,000 donations of $30, and that boosts the money up. Okay? It's obvious. It's a lot of small dollar donations. It's more money from the workers in these industries, not from the CEOs, not from the PACs, not from anything else except the workers of these industries. Okay, it's the workers. But Joe Rogan and a bunch of other bad words, a couple other bad words, all right, will share this information in a completely fake manner because they want to sell a certain narrative with it. And here's the one about Bernie.
It's in Congress, too. Almost all the members of this panel are accepting, including yourself, are accepting millions of dollars from the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh, no,
and
no,
protecting
no,
their interests.
Oh, I thought that would come. No. I ran for president like you. I got millions and millions of contributions. They did not come from the executives, not one nickel of PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. They came from workers.
In 2020, you were the single largest.
So, like, for anyone with a brain, a somewhat functioning brain, you'd see posts like this from Bernie Sanders. You see a post like this where it says, Bernie Sanders raises more than $34.5 million in fourth quarter. So, it's not a football game, all right, fourth quarter. The $34.5 million, a big number for sure. But it's because you have a lot of people. You have 40,000 new donors, all right? 40,000 new donors coming to donate on the final deadline day alone. So, if you have hundreds of thousands of people donating to you, and they all donate, you know, $10. A million people donate $1. That's $1 million. A million people donate $10. That's $10. Or that's $10 million. So like, it's just obvious. I hate the fact we even need to debate this or talk about this in 2025 is insane. It shows the brain rot of online content. Anyone that watches Joe Rogan and takes any opinions, if you share any opinions with Joe Rogan, even if you associate any opinions with Joe Rogan, it's pathetic, bro. It's pathetic. It's just plain pathetic. RFK did get roasted there, but they don't have any like idea of what that means. They don't know. They don't get it. Here, you can call in now. Whoever's trying to call in 18 times in a row. A staffer from Elon Musk's Doge with access to U.S. Treasury payment systems. He has links to a deleted social media account that advocates for, you cannot pay me to marry someone outside of my ethnicity. You cannot pay me. And also, they backed eugenics for immigration. Yeah. A bunch of like grippers or whatever. He has his name as White House Tech Support. That's funny. That's funny, dude. If the people doing this from Elon Musk on down are honest about their intentions, they should have zero problem publishing everything they're doing on a daily basis. Why are they hiding? Why will they not talk to Congress? Why will they not talk to the people? Nothing has been found from Doge or whatever. Nothing has been found at all from Doge. Everything that's been talked about, even from USAID, was already publicly available information.
know if you saw this, but Elizabeth Warren got confirmed.
Okay. LSD. Hi, Tom. Go to a socialist country with open borders. Not in my country. Why so early? Because I gotta go to bed. Notice you lost half your viewers, haha. Y'all trash. Do more research. Your research is literally just waking up and doing dumb shit. You don't even do research. You just do like, you do me search. Beautiful. If there's nothing to hide, hide nothing. Financial transactions are not the only transactions, and transactions are not the only data being accessed. We have no idea what data is being accessed or how it's being consumed. We have no idea what code is changing or how it's being changed. If there is nothing to hide, hide nothing. Don't block subpoenas. If there's nothing to hide, don't feed crucial, critical government information into random artificial intelligence. It's not cool, brother.
You suddenly in your inbox find a termination notice.
Trump says, looks like billions of dollars have been stolen at USAID and other agencies. Much of it is going to the fake news media as a payoff for creating good stories about the Democrats. Completely not true. The left-wing rag known as Politico seems to have received $8 million. Did the New York Times receive money? Who else did? The New York Times, by the way, the data set on that was found because they put in the keywords New York Times, all right? 3 separate keywords. It showed a cumulative result. So all the results of anything from New York and Times, all right? So anything New York that includes, I don't know, colleges in New York City, that was included in the numbers people saw about USAID funding going towards New York Times. And it included, I think, was it like an all-time graph? So the numbers people saw about this is completely fake as well. Did the New York Times receive money? Who else did? This could be the biggest. Every scandal Trump talks about, every scandal. Drama queen. Every scandal is the biggest scandal of them all. Every one of them. And perhaps the biggest in history. The Democrats can't hide from this one. Too big, too dirty. Too big, too dirty.
Or take care of my family. Well, you can imagine when you suddenly in your inbox find a termination notice or a leave of absence notice that you didn't expect to.
Someone says 60 million. I want to talk to one of you guys. Call in. Let's talk about USAID. Please. Call the number up there. Do it. We'll talk about USAID. Let's do it. About the funding. Specifics. I want to see who believes things.
I find it ironic that they keep referring to Elon Musk as an unelected bureaucrat or whatever their terminology is they're using when they've stood silent over the past 4 years when unelected bureaucrats have seemingly been running our country. They've been operating.
Unelected bureaucrats are from the Reagan admin, are from Bush, are from Clinton, are from the other Bush, are from Obama, Trump, Biden, and then Trump. The point of bureaucracy, as defined by our founding fathers, is an anti-corruption mechanism that can fulfill the duties of the executive branch without giving all powers to one person, as the executive grew in scope and propensity. So when we talk about bureaucrats, it's supposed to be a system where you have career civil servants. You want career civil servants because you want Reagan officials during Obama, and you want Obama officials during Trump. So every president is going to appoint people to bureaucracy that they want to see there. Okay? Obviously. But the thing is, they're limited in power by inspectors general and by other watchdogs that are appointed in other administrations. So the idea that a president can come in and fully gut the bureaucracy means they're making an authoritarian move. The only reason you would want to gut the bureaucracy in one swift move, including Trump's own appointees, is because he wants to put loyalists in place of the current bureaucracy. If you're more concerned with bureaucracy than you are the richest man in the world taking over the government and the president having absolute power, if you're more concerned with bureaucracy, you have been fully propagandized. And we need to talk about it because I care about the founding values of this country, and you guys are running away from it faster than Sonic the Hedgehog runs towards a chili dog. Really sad times. Pathetic, sad. Our founding fathers. Oh no. The founding documents are being betrayed.
Their agencies without any oversight, without any accountability, and they've been doing what they wanted to do, whether it was letting employees work from home or enacting policy like forgiving student loan debt when
Letting employees work from home 2 days out of a 5-day work week shows more productivity, it clogs up the roads less, it makes employees happier. It works all around. There's no reason to waste energy heating a building and maintaining a building if someone can handle doing a few days of their week from home, from their own office space. Why would they drive 40 minutes and clog up the roads for your commute too? Why would they clog up the roads for a cubicle? Just to go sit in a cubicle.
when clearly
Call from. To accept, press 1.
Hello?
the American people, he's tweeting out multiple tweets per hour saying what his
from.
I think it's what the American people want.
Yeah, well, I guess
I find it
Hello.
ironic that
Hello? That's the best part of having call-ins from random numbers.
running our country.
Beautiful.
Why does Elon Musk and his
God,
minions
dude.
need Why does Elon Musk and his minions need access to the names, social security numbers, addresses, birth dates, and bank account information of millions
One of those days. It's gonna be one of those days.
Call from.
Give me one of those days.
To accept, press 1.
Yeah, they're kids. All the kids are calling. All the little groper kids are calling.
of Americans? Why does he need that information? What are they doing with it?
Huh.
I can
Let's
taste
see-
some fuck.
Let's see these voicemails, bro. Here's a voicemail.
And salty, salty, salty tears right now. I was wondering, I just made me a little margarita. I was wondering if you can spare a little extra of
Bro, why are you so sassy?
them salty salts. I'm gonna watch this movie later and get some, pussy. Well, you don't know. Some pussy. And I need some.
Men that have a lot of sex, that's how they talk, by the way. They say, I'm gonna eat some popcorn and get a lot of pussy, I'm gonna get pussy, you don't get pussy. That's how men who have sex talk.
Salt for my popcorn. I was wondering if maybe you could cry a little bit more. I know it's winter time and that's when the snowflakes come, but you seem a little extra salty.
Dude, he rehearsed this. It's wintertime. That's when the snowflakes come, brother. That's when they come, bro. Wintertime.
My guy. Can you tell me 4 things that Joe Biden has done in the last? Oh fuck! He had how long with Obama? And then he was.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know one thing that Obama or Biden did, or Trump, actually. I don't know anything at all.
Sort of the president. We'll say the last 12 years. We'll do an even number. 10 years. Well, 12 is even. We'll do 12. Last 12 years, positive that Joe Biden has done. Yeah, I couldn't think of anything. I can name you about 5 things in the last.
Here, he left a phone number.
Let's see, 72 hours. Hello?
Yeah, this is the YouTube guy. What's up?
Yeah, man, let's go, dude. I need like 5 things that Biden did, dude.
I don't know what he did. What did Trump do?
What Trump did, Trump literally before he even got into office, got talks going to settle not only one war, but 2 wars. Now he's fucking, I know people are flipping out about Doge, but public information is only public information if you know what you're looking for. Like, who would look for a transsexual comic book? Like, is
Okay,
that something
so
people just
trans.
type
You're offended
in?
by trans. Nice, okay.
Oh, I'm offended by trans. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, name one thing Doge brought up that's government corruption or that's government, not even waste, but like fraud.
Government fraud?
Yeah. What's
How
a
about
thing Doge
Nicaraguan
uncovered?
schools? Let's talk about Nicaraguan schools. When did they get that money? When was that money? Let's
You telling
talk
me?
about even Ukraine. How much
Money
did
from what? Wait,
Zelensky
money from
say
what?
that
For
he
money
was
from what? Money from
missing?
what?
Not
Money from what?
missing, I apologize.
Money from what for the schools? What money was that? Where was that from?
Well, yeah, you tell me where that's from. I know where it's from. It's from American taxpayers that Nicaraguan schools never got.
I don't know what you're talking about. Who
That
gave
is
them money?
going to
What agency?
It's going to fucking tranny this and tranny that. And
Exactly.
fucking-
Oh, you're a little beta. Sorry. Okay,
I'm
so
a beta.
tell me one thing about one thing that Trump did that's gonna make your life better.
One thing that Trump has done to make my life better. His
Yeah,
first
and
term,
don't mention immigrants or trans people.
So no immigrants, no trans people. Okay, so his
Yeah.
very first term, I seen it was like I can't tell you the percent. I'd have to look at my W-2. But from the last administration, the Obama administration, to Trump's first term, my taxes, my fucking return was insane, dude. I've never seen that much money back. Taxes lowered like a motherfucker. I don't know if I could swear. I apologize if I can't swear or not, but can you tell me? I mean, I seen some Bernie Sanders thing on there. He's got some good points. I do agree with some of Bernie's stuff. I'd much rather Bernie ran than fucking Kamala. Can you tell me, who would you have rather ran, Kamala or Joe? And why was Joe's health hidden for so long? Or can you even tell me why state-run media is a thing in the United States now?
Wait, what state-run media?
CNN, BBC, Politico.
Wait. CNN is state-run in America, and BBC is state-run media in America.
I mean, they got money from American taxpayers.
Where did you hear that at?
I mean, it got exposed. Did you not see that?
What do you mean it got exposed?
I noticed
you got to tell me the actual things that happened.
Oh, I noticed you didn't. I noticed you didn't say Politico. No, she didn't say Politico, though.
Well, the Politico thing is a complete fake story. Do you know what the
that's a fake
Politico?
story.
Do you know what the actual story was about? No, not
Like
no.
Hunter
Okay,
Biden's
okay.
laptop.
Hey, buddy. Okay, think about Politico. What was purchased from Politico? Who purchased it, and why did they purchase it?
Well, I mean, if you're paying $75,000 for a subscription, I mean, that's like me spending $50,000 on a Plan B pill. You know, something's not adding up there.
Okay, so before I
If I
tell
wanna
you
go
what's
buy a
actually
gallon of
happening,
milk,
do
I'm
you
not gonna
think we
spend
really
25
spent? Do you think
grand
we
on
really
it.
spent money on a Politico subscription for $40,000 a subscription? Like, what do you think actually happened here?
What do I think actually happened? I think it's not just Democrats. I think it's government in general.
Okay, so $8.2 million, right? $8.2 million.
$8.2 million for what?
You said for a subscription to Politico.
Yeah, they're paying like $75,000 a piece.
So, do you think that shows that the U.S. government is supporting leftist media?
It's supporting media, and instead of like people like you that are like, I get, we have disagreeing viewpoints, but your voice should be heard. We should have the
But
right.
you were
hear
lied
your
to.
voice.
But people like me lied to you about this because Politico Pro is a specific service that costs a lot of money that many professionals use on reporting in specific sectors. So, for example, like
What
policy.
are they reporting though? What
So,
are
like-
they reporting on? Hunter Biden's laptop? Like what? What?
Dude, is your brain
costs
broken?
so
Do you just know
much
Hunter
money?
Biden laptop? Or are you just like taught slogans on repeat like a wind-up doll? I'm talking to
No,
you
I'm
about
just
the.
saying, what-
okay, just listen to me.
what
Listen to me for a
information
second. Just
is
for
worth
1 second.
that
Just for
much
1
money?
second.
I paid
It's
like
a system.
$15 for Paramount Plus. What kind of subscription is worth that kind of money? That the American people aren't. I mean, if you get
Are you gonna let me
insider
tell you what it
information,
is?
that going to Nancy Pelosi? Like what kind of information
It's a
are
high.
you paying
It's a
that
okay.
kind of
There's
money
a
for?
there's a high-level real-time policy platform, which Politico Pro, for example, which is the service, is actually purchased by more Republicans than Democrats in the government. It's a high-level policy platform that tracks policy developments, policy news. You could argue about like, okay, well maybe
So
they shouldn't be
that's
spending money
worth
on that. But the thing is that
how
that
much?
was
20
actually
bucks a month?
found. That was found on already available public information. Doge did not find that. And people right now, like Donald Trump says, this is the biggest scandal in American
exposed it.
history.
They
No, they
exposed-
didn't. No,
nobody's
they
saying
didn't.
they
Random people.
uncovered-
This was public. Doge did
Public
not do this.
information is only public if you know what
Okay,
you need to
Doge
look for.
Doge did not
Who's looking
do this.
for gay comic books in fucking Argentina?
We're talking about Politico.
Or fucking,
I'm talking
you know,
about Politico because Donald Trump called this the biggest scandal in American history. When it's
It is, absolutely. Our
the Politico.
taxpayers are paying for shit that has nothing to do with America.
The
dude.
Politico specifically, he said that we are funding far left media against him, that we're funding New York Times and Politico, which are is
We
just
are.
not true
We
statements.
are.
We're not doing that.
So what's that money for?
What's what money
So
for? I
just
told you.
straight up real 100% absolute authentic subscriptions that carry fucking that kind of monetary value. I just don't. I pay $15 a month for Paramount Plus, and that's a product of what, CBS?
Yeah, because if you
I
hire
don't
real
get
time, like
what-
for example, if you hire someone real time to give you a 24/7 policy update, these high professional C-level execs also have platforms like this when they work for companies that have constant updates.
So you're paying for
these
a
are
person.
expensive programs. Not well.
So you're
I mean,
paying
you are
for a person.
You're paying for the people that are doing the reporting real time, 24/7 for sure. But these are high-level programs that only executives and also members of Congress will buy. And what I'm saying is, Republicans and Democrats buy it so they can be more informed and up to date on policy action around the entire globe. So yeah, it's a premium
From a
package.
bias,
But I'm
a
saying when
complete
Trump says
biased
when Trump says, for
media
example, this
outlet?
is when Trump says it's not a completely biased media outlet. There's a reason Republicans and Democrats both buy it. But when Trump says this is the biggest scandal in American history, that's one of the dumbest comments you could
I
possibly
mean, I don't
make.
agree it's one of the biggest ones in American history. I would have to say them hiding Joe Biden's mental state is and clearly covering it up, and then no American voted for Kamala. That's just a 100%. I can't even.
And
do anything else on that.
USAID, so federal agencies in general spent $8 million on these subscriptions. USAID spent $40,000. So that's like a very, very small amount of total spending at all from the government, from taxes, from the USAID funding alone. The fact this is even being talked about, Politico in relation with USAID is so dumb. I can't even find a word for how stupid it is. That's even a story.
So Elon, I mean, so there's absolutely no need for what Elon's doing there.
Doge has not
a
revealed
government audit.
anything. They're acting secretly. Okay, they're installing private servers in our government data, and we don't know where those servers are headed. We don't know what kind of coding is happening. They're denying subpoenas. They will not talk to the public. They will not be transparent at all. Doge has not released any reports at all
They
about what they've
literally
done.
are. They're auditing. They're auditing the federal government.
You're taking their
There
word
is-
for it because you obey them, but I don't obey them. I want to
Because
hear
I
actual
obey them.
answers. I want transparency from them. You can make funny
I
voices,
literally
but I want
voted
transparency.
for Obama, my guy.
I don't care that you voted for Obama.
myself.
Talk about now. I don't care. I don't care. Good
well,
job.
I'm
You
just
voted for a
saying,
black
like,
guy.
I-
There's your tokenism. Great. I don't care.
Oh,
But I want to know.
tokenism.
But I
Oh
want
my God,
transparency.
there's my white privilege,
I want
right?
transparent. No, I
My
don't. I'm not saying you have
white-
white. Stop talking.
my white fragility
If
right
you want to
there.
cry about white fragility, if you want to be a white guy that's fragile, that's fine. But I'm talking about I want transparency from people that are corrupting government. Elon Musk, who gets $20 billion, by the way, gets $20 billion of
bro,
government
you literally
contracts.
just said I voted for
Elon
a
Musk.
token.
Elon Musk.
No,
I
we're
said,
not gonna
I
move
said
past
you.
that.
You're,
We're
I
not
said
gonna
you're
move past
using.
that.
I said
You
you're
just said I
using it.
voted for
I
a
said you brought it up.
token.
Hey, brother. I said you brought it
You
up.
said the word
It's like
token.
it's like saying you
So
have a black
Obama's
friend.
token? He's the
Nope,
token black
nope.
guy?
No, he's not. For you, he was. 'Cause
Why'd you say I
used him
voted
as
for
your.
the token then?
I'm not
That's
having
weird.
emotional conversations, bro. If you're gonna cry, I'm not talking about it. I want to talk about real policy
I mean,
issues.
you
I'll get someone
literally
else on the
just-
phone.
Oh, I'm crying.
I said you brought up your black
made this
friend. It's like
statement.
saying I have a black friend. I'm not biased. I don't care. Let's talk about the
So
issues
that's
at
my-
hand.
is that my
I
white
want
fragility
transparency. I
exposed?
want. Why
Is
are
that
you
my
obsessed
white
with social
fragility
issues?
exposed?
Stop
Bro,
crying
you
about
literally
gender
said I
and
voted for
race,
a
bro.
token.
Stop crying.
You
I
get
said
that, right?
you
You
are
said that.
using it as this is my black friend. Obviously, I'm moving on from this
No,
part of the conversation
I'm
because this
saying
is stupid.
it
You know
as
you're being a dumbass.
Democrat. I voted for a
Dumbass,
Democrat.
dumbass. Okay, so what we're talking
Oh,
about right now
dumbass,
is
dumbass.
Elon Musk, who received $20 billion in
enjoy.
taxpayer dollars. See, he had to cry and leave. He got offended, he cried and left. That is the state of the right wing in America right now. The MAGA is emotional. They will not have rational conversations. The moment they realize they lost the conversation and they don't know what they're talking about, they run away. So in chat right now, remember, you guys run away, just like that guy did right there. He's given a really bad representation for you guys. He starts crying about white privilege and white fragility. He starts saying, you called him a token, when obviously I did not call Obama the token. I said he brings up Obama like he's his black friend to give him permission to have dumbass opinions. Obviously. He runs away on that topic. I bring up how Elon Musk receives $20 billion in government contracts. Therefore, Doge should be transparent if they're about transparency. Why are they hiding? Okay. And we should not put the richest man in the world in charge of monitoring the money that our taxpayer dollars are going to his companies with. Like, that was a bad sentence. But he should not be in charge of monitoring if his businesses have a conflict of interest. He should not be in charge of monitoring what tax dollars go to his businesses. We need other people. This is pure corruption. It doesn't work to say, Elon Musk can't be bought. You realize the issue with money in politics is the incentives. If you have a ton of money and the government regulates your company, for example, so you don't form monopolies, the reason it's an issue that you buy politicians is if the politicians are corrupt and give special favors to the ultra-rich in society. So it makes zero sense to say Elon Musk should be in charge with zero accountability, zero transparency, zero constitutional boundaries, zero checks and balances. All right? The person who buys politicians, we have an issue. We have an issue with that, right? He donates to politicians, he buys them. Putting that person in charge. You're putting the person that buys politics in charge of politics. Do you see how that's counterintuitive? Do you see how that's anti what you claim to care about? You would just simp. You're a bunch of simps.
Trump voters are amazing, man. I'm saying that. I wanted to call. Can you like answer me, man, please?
Nice. Okay. Please consider dropping a like and subscribing. Yeah, the token comment triggered him so hard, bro. Don't bring up the black president just because you want to make up for your dumbass opinions. All right, so drop a like, subscribe. Channel memberships are $3 a month, okay? If you enjoyed this content, we're trying to hit 100 channel members. Please consider becoming a channel member. You can donate through Super Chat, also through Jola Politics on Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. Those are the preferred ways to donate. I'll call you right away if you donate $10 there with your first name and your phone number. If you donate through those means and you want to call in right away, do it through those areas, okay? I'll get you in right away if you want to move ahead of the line. If not, then it's up to luck.
Call from. To accept.
Hello.
Yo, man, what's up?
Nothing much, how are you?
Good, man. I'm watching you stream here. Trying to get a mindset of where your head's at with this to have an honest conversation.
Yeah, sure thing.
So, first of which, it's undeniable that America voted for this. They voted for Trump. They voted knowing that Elon was going to be put in this position. So I don't understand. I mean, I understand you go, transparency, this, transparency, that. That's all well and fine. I'm all for transparency, bro. But at the same time, this is what people voted for. So you have to respect that vote.
So I don't think Americans voted for bypassing the Constitution. I don't think they voted for having the richest man in the world just go access our treasury data with no checks or transparency at all. I don't think they voted for...
How are they bypassing? They're not. How are they bypassing the Constitution? The only person who has the right to privacy is a personal individual. This is a government entity being audited by a government entity.
Doge is not a government entity. That's the issue. They bypassed all checks and balances.
It was signed into as a government entity by Trump.
And also, I'm pretty sure that Doge wasn't announced until November. Was that before the election when they announced that Doge is going to be a thing? Or is that...
Everybody knew as soon as Elon was going to every campaign outing with him and to the rallies, and he was talking about it back then, that he was going to start this government efficiency program. Trump has been talking about this for like over a year. People knew about this before they voted, man. That's the bottom line. Everybody knew that. That's like
They
saying
did
that,
not, but
that's
when
like
they
saying
said
that's
when they said new
like
government
saying that he
agency
wasn't gonna
that's
deport
supposed to be
people or
confirmed
something.
by Congress, for example, they hired Elon as a quote unquote special government agent. Okay, they did not announce Doge being a thing until Trump already won the election. But also Musk in general. If you want to say that we knew Trump was going to be bought out by Musk from the beginning, we knew that. Like we knew that Trump said
not
he's
my
going to give
words.
Musk favors.
Those are not what I said.
No,
I
but
did not
Trump
think-
Trump said
First of all,
Trump said that.
don't need
Trump
to be
said
bought
that.
out by nobody, bro.
No, Trump got bought
got
out
more
by
money than he could ever do anything with.
Elon Musk has like 500 times more money than Trump does. Like
Bro,
500
Trump
times more.
literally made a meme coin and made fucking tons of money off of it. He don't need
Yeah, I know he's
Elon's
corrupt.
money.
I know he's corrupt. But
Bro,
they
every politician is fucking corrupt. What is your point?
No, but Trump is ultra corrupt. And not
That's
every politician is
bullshit.
corrupt. That's not true.
Bro, what about Joe Biden's 22 offshore accounts? What about transparency for that shit?
Did anything happen in relation to Biden being president?
Not even Joe Biden, bro. What about the oil and shit that we went after in Afghanistan and Iraq and all
And
that
there's also
shit with
no
fucking George Bush?
where did you get the 22
Every
offshore accounts from? That's not true.
politician is corrupt.
No, Biden does not have 22 offshore accounts. Where did you get that information from?
Bro, oh my God. All right,
Are you
so
mad at me for asking for proof?
no, I'm just saying that you're shilling for the one party.
I'm
It's
looking
very
at the reports. I'm looking at the actual reports. You admit that Trump had a shit meme coin that he scammed like $50 billion.
Yeah, no, he didn't scam
out
anybody,
of.
bro. If you bought into that shit, that is your own fault. That's like saying, hey, I've got lemonade here. It's shitty lemonade, but if you want to buy it, buy it.
Okay, well, I don't think the president should be scamming his supporters or be like
Not a scam,
welcoming
bro. It
donations
was
from the
legit
global
put out there. If you
marketplace
wanna
of
invest
just like people in
every-
general. Any
if
person
that's-
could be
if
donating
that's-
to this without us knowing. He could be getting
every
favors from any
investment
dictator around
has
the world.
risk. Every investment
It's
has
not an
risk.
investment. It's a scam. He scams people. He sold
No.
$100,000 watches during his run. He sold like NFTs during his run. He sold pictures. He
Bro,
sold pieces of his
shoes,
suit
too. He's a
during his run.
businessman. He
Yeah, he
sells
sold
everything.
Yeah, but he's selling out the American people. That's the issue. He's
That's
letting
how.
the top
How's
donors
he
into
selling out
the
the
administration. Because
How
they're
is he-
looking to
how is
cut
he-
Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and every other government program that helps Americans. That's what they're looking to do.
What government programs like FEMA, who don't come to North Carolina? and
Okay,
help
well,
people with
FEMA. Okay,
everything?
FEMA's maximum benefits were allocated. That Congress, the Republican Congress approved FEMA response, so $750 initially, and then a bunch of other help after that. A few $1 billion went into North Carolina under Biden, but the Republicans in Congress refused to make that number higher.
What
So you have
about
to
what
take it
about
up with
East
them.
Palestine underneath? What about East Palestine? East Palestine, big ass chemical spill. Those
Yeah,
people
that was
still
helped
ain't
right
got
away.
something.
That was helped
Well,
right away. That was resolved right away.
Those people's water is poisoned for probably the next 10, 20, 40
Yeah, we need to
years.
hold corporations accountable. That's why Donald Trump shouldn't be. He's removing regulations on companies and safety standards right now. He's literally wants to kill OSHA. He wants to kill all standards for things like rail and oil. So
Because
there's gonna be
they
more oil
have too
spills.
much. Some companies have, some entities have way too much overreach.
So you're
The
okay with oil
ATF
spills? You
the
like poison?
ATF literally enacts laws without going through Congress, and they make regulations all the time. They kill more people's dogs every year than you can
Do you
even
realize that you
imagine.
haven't stayed? You brought up like 50 topics. I'm just trying to say, like, are you against oil spills or pro oil spills? Because like, if you're anti-oversight, then you're pro oil spill. Because we need to regulate companies so they like make their safety standards better. Before the Palestine or East Palestine crash in Ohio, they removed a lot of safety standards for rail. Like the companies just did that.
So what are you saying, that we shouldn't frack or do oil?
No, I'm saying that we shouldn't be removing modern regulations that make it safer. If you care about poisoned water, then we should be making better standards for how safe rail needs to be for transporting oil.
Everybody wants there to be safe water and everything like that.
Yeah,
bro.
but you
I'm
need
not trying
government
to
oversight
debate
and
that.
regulation,
What
though.
I'm trying to say is there's way too much government. Everybody, look how much money and taxes that we pay. Like, income tax wasn't supposed to be a thing that Americans were supposed to pay forever, right? It started, what, World War I or World War II to help pay back the war effort. And then the government found out that they could keep taking people's money and using it for what they wanted to use it for. And they've fucked us ever since.
Well, to be honest, our life expectancy now versus then is like 40 years higher. We live in the most prosperous time ever to be a human. We have smartphones, TVs. We're curing diseases we never thought could
Bro,
be cured.
if you
We're
were
living
to
in
ask
we're at the peak of
most
humanity right now.
People, they say that we live in the most oppressive.
Yeah, because they're emotional
tyrannical time
dumbasses.
ever.
Are you an emotional dumbass or are you going to be a realistic person? Like, I know
No,
they're
I'm
emotional
being
dumbasses.
real.
If
Bro,
you think it was
I'm
better in
not
the
being
1920s, or do you think it was
they're
better in the
talking about-
1890s?
No, I'm talking about the fact that people that lost the election are standing outside of a government building talking about they want war in the streets.
Well, who said they
right?
want war in the streets?
When Chuck Schumer was standing there.
Chuck
before
Schumer
he
is
did
one of the
his-
weakest little baby betas in the world. He literally just said, "We are gonna win. We're gonna win," because he's a dumb. Like they're literally just protesting that there's no transparency from these random
Maxine
tech bros that
Waters
took over
literally
government
said that
buildings.
There needs to be violence in the
You're bringing up.
streets,
Are you bringing up
Not
the
first
Maxine
time
Waters
I've done
tweet from 2020?
No, I'm quoting from when she was outside the government building next to Chuck Schumer the other day. She said
Did
it
Maxine
again.
Waters call for violence in the street?
She said we are at war.
Okay, when I played basketball, people said they were at war. Okay, we did not mean we're actually going to be fighting. Donald Trump's people called for military tribunals during the campaign, and no one cared. Do you think that was bad?
Whose side has been shooting at presidents?
Well, every president has a lot of assassination attempts. When Obama was president, there were people running around yelling Antichrist and shooting at the White
How
House.
many of them got shot?
Well, Reagan is the last one that got shot.
Yep. Well, I mean, there's a Republican.
Okay, but assassination attempts right now, like we look at like total mass shootings, it's mostly by right-wing ideologues.
That's not true, man. I think the last couple of school shootings were by trans people.
When? Which ones?
The one in Tennessee that they still won't release the fucking what do you want to call that? When they write everything down.
20. I'm talking about this year. The one was a black kid who was a Nazi, who worshipped Candace
That's
Owens
just
and Hitler.
contradictory. How can you be a black Nazi, man?
I mean, you could read his manifesto. He hated being black. He worshipped Candace Owens and Hitler. He wishes he was not black, and he wanted to kill black people. He thought he was inferior. So yeah, he was. And like the guy who ran for North Carolina governor also called himself a black Nazi, and worshipped Hitler. Not Glenn. Mark Robinson said that as well. So you can
Mark
believe
Robinson. You talking about the guy that wants everybody to have the right to carry a gun and stuff like that? I'll be
Mark
for real with you, man. I
Robinson,
don't
the guy
believe
who
that
was
stuff until I
pro-Hitler.
can see it.
You
No,
can
I
look
don't
it up.
believe
His
that.
accounts are still public.
You talking about the one on the sex site?
Yeah, well, there's multiple instances of this kind of behavior from Mark Robinson. He's a freaky guy.
Last I remember, I think he was a pastor at one time, wasn't he?
Yeah, and a lot of pastors are really high when it comes to assaulting kids. By the way, it's one of those.
That's not true. I think if you look at the percentage of
groups?
pastors or people that have abused children.
Well, white
I
men in
think
general
there's
and men
more
in general
common
abuse
people.
children far more. But I'm just saying, by the numbers, like you can be a pastor and be a bad person. It doesn't absolve you of
You
sin.
can be
like-
anybody and be a bad person, man.
Yeah, I agree.
My
So
point-
why bring up that he's a pastor?
my-
He's a freak.
my
He should
point-
not be around kids. Mark
this
Robinson, he believed
conversation-
he was a black Nazi. He called himself a black Nazi, and he believed in
But-
ideologies that are similar to Hitler. So, I mean,
I don't know about that, man. I live in North Carolina, so I'm kind of. I don't really believe that, man.
Okay. I don't know. I could tell you.
And I've got family all over the country, like Pennsylvania and stuff too. So, like, I've lived in multiple places. I haven't just lived here all my life. So I know that there's different demographics. People think differently in different places. That's all well and fine. We're basically 50 individual countries that work together.
Do you think we do you think we sent $50 million of condoms to Palestine?
I don't know. Who's to say, man? Who's to say we didn't?
The budgets.
Can you prove that we didn't do that?
Yeah.
How?
Do you think we did? Because you could read the budgets.
Access? Do you have access
It's
to the
public.
bank
It's
transactions?
public information. There's a USAmoney.com you can go on, like USA Funding.
So what about Zelensky saying he didn't get all the $170 million or whatever? He said he only got like $70 billion.
1 second.
He's saying that Joe Biden and them must have put the money somewhere else. He didn't get all the money for the war aid.
He's probably referring to the idea that Americans think we spent tons of money on there when we did not spend all that money on them. 1 second though.
I mean, our country does stuff all the time, dude. Obama gave the Iranians like hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, I mean, Trump armed terrorist groups as well, and he helped empower the Taliban.
Joe
in
Biden gave
Afghanistan
an
as well.
entire military base armed to the teeth with equipment and guns.
All right, do you know what the
But you
Doha
can't
agreements
argue
are?
this thing. Huh?
You know what the Doha agreements are?
The Doha agreements. Is that something that we agreed
Oh,
to.
so
we would help
when
fund.
Zelensky said this, and this is why it's important to actually do our own research and look into things and not be a beta brain. He said that he did not get $177 billion in cash. So he said that because he received $101 million in financial through loans and some cash installments, but much of the aid was through equipment such as military weapons and military assistance. No, but the point is, the story you just said is false. So there's not money being laundered. A lot of the value we spent to them was spent for American companies. He received the equipment.
That still cost the taxpayers money.
No, but you said that there was a scam where he did not receive all the money, right?
No,
you did say that. You're on recording.
Say there was a scam. He said that he did not receive all that money.
No, but I'm saying what he actually said. Do you know what he actually said now that I told you?
So what's your point then, that he did receive it all?
Yeah, he received all the funding, but a lot of that funding just went to U.S. people, like our companies. So what we did, we sent our old weapons to Ukraine. We made new weapons, the modern weapons here. So a lot of that funding did not go straight to Ukraine in monetary ways. It went in equipment, pretty much.
So,
we still got all the funding.
What do you think about that situation, huh? You think it's okay for us to test our weaponry against Russian and Korean troops?
We're not testing it.
War in another country?
It's not a proxy war either. It's a defense of Ukraine. It's not a war, because if Russia stopped, it would stop.
Independent country, bro.
Because if it doesn't matter how long they've been an independent country, it matters
how long has it been an independent country before it was part of Russia? How long ago was it part of Russia?
It doesn't matter. The sovereign lines were drawn for years and years. No, it does not matter at all when one country's invading the other. If Russia would stop invading, it'd be over.
It's been less than one whole generation.
It doesn't matter. Why are you repeating propaganda from the Kremlin, brother? I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care. That's how the lines have been drawn. It doesn't matter how long a country has been a country. It's still a country.
Getting emotional.
I'm not getting emotional. You're just stupid.
No, it's a fact.
Yeah, it's a fact that you're dumb. So you're saying, okay, so 40 years is not enough to be a country.
They still, fact, Ukraine is one of the most corrupt countries to have existed in the last century.
Actually, it was a lot more corrupt when Russia's puppet was in charge of Ukraine before the revolution. It's a lot less corrupt today. But a lot of the corruption is from Russian agents in Ukraine. A lot of that corruption is from there. But they got a lot better since Russia was able to be pushed out a little bit. But that's why Russia started invading, because they lost power in Ukraine after the revolution.
That's debatable.
That's not semantic. I just said fact. If you think that's semantics, you're too emotional. Like I'm just saying facts, bro. I'm chill as shit right now. I'm chilling. I'm just saying the facts about the situation.
It's a general fact that it was part of Russia less than one generation ago.
That doesn't matter.
And they're having to dispute on whose land it is.
No, it's not a dispute. It's not a dispute. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So do you think that Mexico should be able to take Texas back?
It's been more than one or two generations since Texas.
So, like, how many years? How many exact years do you need to be a country for you to be considered a sovereign nation?
I guarantee you, if Mexico invaded Texas, they wouldn't be able to take it, even if Texas didn't get federal.
That's not what we're talking about, dumbass. You realize what I'm saying, right? Like, how many years do you need to be a country before you're able to not be invaded?
So if what you're
by your
saying,
standard.
if any state decided to break off from the Union and they wanted to be their own country, they should just be able to do it because they wanted to.
No, there was a dictatorship, okay? And we broke up dictatorships into different nations. And we had different countries as part of, for example, you know how they call it the European Union? There was something called the Soviet Union. So it's the Soviet Union included like the full state of Russia, but the Soviet Union broke up and fragmented into different countries because there's other countries as well, such as Georgia and such as countries to north and south of Ukraine that are also part of the former Soviet Union.
Yeah.
That union broke, okay? Russia became independent Russia, and then Ukraine voted to not be a part of Russia once the union fractured. But in America, we have a much different form of our governing our United States of America as one country.
Because we're protected by the law of the land, the Constitution. It's different for us.
But even if a state could succeed, even if a state could leave, for example, I don't think America should be able to invade that state and take it over again by force. I mean, I would say the same exact thing if California could leave or if Texas could leave.
So you're
No,
you
okay.
support
I'm saying
Texas.
that. I'm saying if that was possible, I still would not support the U.S. invading
It's
them.
completely possible, dude. They bring Texas. There's Texas on the legislative ballot in Texas. They're going to bring it up.
Cool. I
Or
would
they were
still
gonna
say the
bring it
U.S. should
up.
not be able to invade them. I would still support them, and I'd support Ukraine. Yeah.
I don't think that we should be supplying weapons to another country in a quote unquote proxy war, even if it's not technically a proxy war. We're collecting information on how useful those weapons are working against our adversaries.
We're giving
vehicles,
old
like
weapons. We just recently let them fire missiles into Russia. We're giving old weapons. We're not taking data. This is not for the point of
We're
data.
still collecting the data on how effective those weapons work.
This is probably one of the best things ever. Not for the Ukrainian people, obviously, but for the U.S.
It's horrible for the Ukrainian. It's horrible for the Russian people.
Well, then Russia should stop invading.
I'm not going to debate. I'm not denying that's a fact. Putin should stop that war. That is on him. It's not on us.
Yeah, but I would still support Ukraine. Also, we've had relations with Ukraine. Ukraine has a lot of economic resources. They have a lot of farming, and they're also a sovereign nation. We have a vested interest in protecting sovereign nations globally, because invading other countries, once you have that as the standard, then the entire globe can devolve into chaos. That's one of the reasons we had NATO, for example.
China is, if you're talking about invading other countries, China is currently going around the world into impoverished nations and impoverished areas in Africa, building infrastructure with the agreement that they get to take land.
Well, they do a lot of loans, for example, so they'll get areas into really shitty loans.
You can call it what you
default
want
on.
to, man. They still have to make the agreement that they give China something for something, and it's monetary.
Yeah, but it's done through
land.
soft power. It's not through them forcing guns and training them upon independent nations and invading them like Russia's doing right now. It's a different total system.
So it's a
Like-
different type of invasion.
No, it's not an invasion. It's not an invasion. If it was an invasion, then it'd be a lot more. There'd be a lot more stuff in the news about the wars, because they're well armed in different countries as well. But they have different trading partners. So some African countries trade with the U.S. more, some trade with China. So a big part of our forces with like the USAID, one of those initiatives is to stop the Belt and Road Initiative from China, which is why people like Marco Rubio has wanted more funding for USAID for years and years. Now he's against it for whatever reason. But just in general, I'm in favor.
What's so bad with not wanting to give all our taxpayer money to other countries, man? I don't see the argument against.
We're not
wanting to
giving
keep that
all
money.
of our taxpayer. How much taxpayer money?
We could fund our own health care that way. We wouldn't have homeless vets and things of that
That's
nature.
not true. If we wanted to get rid of homeless vets, we'd get rid of it. Americans are too selfish for that. But like in general, like we give money, for example, to foreign aid, or we give money in USAID, or we give money to support Ukraine for our own benefit. We get America benefits from it monetarily. America benefits from it security-wise. America can have military bases in more locations. America can just have
We
more
don't need
influence.
military base. Why do we need a military base in Ukraine?
Because it keeps the world more like NATO, for example, keeps the world more safe. It protects our troops to have NATO because it makes the globe more stable. It's like having a foundation to a building collapse. You have to take care of the foundation of a building before you build on top of it. NATO provides a stable foundation.
I agree. We need a
so does military
foundation to be able
bases.
to support the building. We've been supporting most of NATO on our own.
And the military bases are mostly for intel, by the way. The only country that has brought, like, for example, NATO countries
Do you know how many
into
military
other
bases
wars
the
is the
United
U.S.
States owns worldwide?
Like the U.S. has gotten more countries soldiers killed than other countries have. Like we forced them into the Middle East essentially.
Do you know how many military bases the United States owns worldwide?
I don't care how many. It just depends on what the
Over
priorities are of a stable globe.
800.
Okay.
800.
Okay. And
so
if you want to cut Pentagon spending in different areas, I'm sure people would agree with that.
Funding 800 different military bases around the world. We are not the world police. We need to stop being the world police. The world needs to
that doesn't mean world
they can't
police.
depend
That's
on us for
not. It's
everything.
not world. That's not. Well, the world doesn't depend on us for everything. We depend on each other. The global community matters. Like that matters to support.
So you're in favor of globalism.
Like I said before, we are the only country that got NATO members killed. We brought them into Afghanistan. We pretty much forced them into the Middle East. We are the ones that drew upon the one title for NATO and brought in NATO forces with our allies. So we're the ones that bring them into the fight as well.
European countries should be willing to do whatever we ask when it comes to funding to NATO, because if it wasn't for us, they'd be Nazi Germany now.
I mean, okay.
If we ask them to put 5% more money in because we've got more money in, they shouldn't buck us on it or anything. They should be like, you know what? Y'all paying a lot of money for this. Yeah, we should support more. We need to do more. Instead, all I hear is, oh no, we can't give that much. Y'all need to keep giving it. It's a business. And when people get upset that Trump says he wants to take, I'm not for ending NATO, by the way. When Trump says, well, we're going to pull back support from
Trump
NATO,
is going to,
he's
probably.
using it as a bargaining chip to get people
Yeah, that's
to
what
pay their
everything
fair
everything
share.
Trump does is a bargaining chip. Everything he does, because he doesn't have any actual plan, so he needs to say it's bargaining whenever he fucks up.
But
Like,
it
he'll
works.
say the dumbest shit, and it does not work. Name one time the bargaining chip worked.
Cuba taking
Canada.
back the illegals.
Cuba?
Canada agreeing to stop the fentanyl from coming across their border and not tariffing back.
Okay, so the Canada, that plan was proposed and actually implemented in December. So they just said it again for a PR statement. So do you have another one? That was already done. Trump's
Yeah, but it doesn't
tariffs
matter.
did
They
not
were
do that.
talking about they were going to put tariffs back on us, and then Trudeau backed off on it because he knew that Trump had
No,
that
no,
bargaining.
but Donald Trump, okay, what Canada did was what they're already doing. They did not do anything new as a result of Trump threatening tariffs. Same with Mexico. The commitment did not change. So, like, Trump got 0
You're
wins
talking
out of
about
tariffs so far.
10,000 troops on the border and keeping them there.
Yeah, we had 15,000 last year under Biden.
Then how all the illegals get across?
Well, the number significantly reduced, but there's a lot of people that want to come here and seek asylum. So I mean, that's one of the main reasons.
Significantly reduced. I think there's I think they don't know the exact total, but they said it's something like 15 million people crossed the border in the last 4 years. How the hell did that happen if there was 10,000 Mexican troops guarding the border?
How many people, like, do you know how big the border is?
Yeah, I know how big the border is. Do you know how inaccessible to cross most of that border is because it's desert?
Do you realize that most immigrants in the U.S. right now are undocumented and not illegal?
If you come into this country without documentation, you've entered it illegally. Therefore,
That's not.
you are
That's just not
illegal.
true. That's just not
That
true.
is true. That's why it's
Nope.
called illegal immigration.
Nope, they call it illegal immigration because they want to demonize all immigrants. The majority of immigrants are either overstaying visas or they're here looking for asylum claims and waiting for their court date. A very small percentage are illegal immigrants.
Had
No, not
documentation.
none. So, for example, if they came in
Visas
through the
because
app,
they're
if they came in
illegal.
through the app, they came through legal points of entry. If the CB1 app or whatever, that was through legal ports of entry. If they're in a hotel in New York, that's legal ports of entry. They're waiting for court dates is the big issue. We wanted to increase capacity for that through the border bill, but Trump said no because it was a political thing.
So you're okay with letting unvetted people just get on an app and apply to be a citizen and just come across the border?
Unvetted
they were
is
doing?
not necessarily true. When it comes to immigrants in general, there's a much lower crime rate for undocumented and documented immigrants than there
Riley
are
would
for
disagree.
naturalized American citizens. Well, I know if you want to use Laken Riley's name for political reasons, it's kind of disgusting.
I'm not using it. It's a fact. She was killed by an illegal immigrant who was in New York
And
at one
and
time.
a girl just got raped yesterday by a January 6th partner that Trump pardoned.
Okay. And your point's what?
That's Trump's fault then. Trump got that
How's
girl
that
raped.
Trump's fault?
Because he pardoned the
That
guy
was
from
an
January
American
6th.
citizen who made a bad decision on their own. That ain't got shit to do with Trump.
Oh, it's a bad decision to rape a girl, but if it's an immigrant, then then it's bad. It's only bad if it's an immigrant, right? If it's a white guy, it's
That
not
illegal
bad.
immigrant who already had previous crimes, who had been picked up in New York and then let go, right? Wasn't held without bail or nothing. Wasn't deported for violent crimes. Then went to Georgia, raped and killed a girl.
So is that Biden's fault?
There's
I'm
not
not
someone.
saying it's Biden's fault. I'm saying it's the illegal immigrant's fault. He needs to get the hell out of the country. Personally, I think rapists should be shot.
I don't believe in the death penalty. I'm against death penalty. I'm anti-death penalty.
You don't believe in the death penalty. So if somebody came over to your house and murdered your family in front of you, you wouldn't want them to die.
I would want them to die, but I don't want the legal system to do that. I don't want the government to have the ability to kill people over crimes.
I guarantee you, if the death penalty was more openly used, there'd be less crime because people would be afraid of the consequences.
Actually, in states that in countries that have the death penalty, the crime rate's a lot higher than countries that don't have the death penalty because they're usually backward societies living in the third world. We only We're one of the only first world countries that want to ban abortion. Like countries that ban abortion are like literally Iran and Saudi Arabia and countries like that. They have the death penalty in those places, and the rate of violence is higher. And also in states that have open carry gun laws, the rate of violence is higher, and the death or the life expectancy is a lot lower.
I seriously doubt that. I live in an open carry state and in a red county. Not that violent.
I mean, you could talk about your personal experience, but I'm talking about the facts of the world. You just said that death penalty makes things safer. There's no proof of that anywhere. Death penalty does not deter crime at all.
An armed society is way more polite because then they know if you fuck around with somebody, you might find out.
No, actually, if everyone has a gun, it's more likely that you cause more violence if you get into an altercation versus a fist fight. It's going to be a gunfight now. Or it's going to be people shooting each other. So, like, having guns at a bar, for example, in a lot of these states, there's a lot of accidental deaths from people being drunk or just, like, people fighting. In general,
More people die
states that have more guns have states that have more guns have lower life expectancy.
Leaving a bar than ever shooting one another.
Oh, I agree. I'm just saying your idea that everyone being armed is going to create less crime is just dumb.
You're trying to make an analogy that doesn't fit because it's not even comparable.
No, it's not an analogy. I'm just saying that more guns does not decrease crime, or like death penalty does not decrease crime. It does not decrease crime. It usually shows signs that that society is devolving more so. It's better to spend money on education. Spending money on education and healthcare decrease crime and decrease violence much more than spending money on death penalty ever would.
I don't believe that, or we'd have one of the best school systems in the whole world.
Well, that's why our crime rate is higher than other countries, is because we don't invest in education and things like that enough, and healthcare and mental health care.
That's wild, because I'm pretty sure that the Department of Education gets billions of dollars every year.
Yeah, we have we're a rich country. We spend a lot of money, but I'm saying versus our competition, like in Europe, like we do a lot worse than they do for life expectancy for a reason.
We waste a lot of money with bureaucracy. Is the
No,
problem.
we waste money for private companies, not bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is not how we waste money. We waste money because of the profit motive. Bureaucracy doesn't. That's not the reason we waste money. It's administrative fees for private companies.
Well, man.
Thank you, Jeff.
I can tell you this. We might differ on a couple of things. I do respect your point of view on a couple of things. I hope you respect mine on some things. We can have some different ideology about some things, but at the end of the day, we're still both Americans. Can we agree on that?
I'm not. You can't assume my race, my gender, my citizen gender. Don't assume that.
Oh my God, dude. Why when somebody tries to meet you with middle ground, do you act like a complete child?
Because you just say dumb shit, then you want to have like a nice little ending to the conversation.
I'm actually trying to have a conversation with you, but you're being a complete fucking troll.
I'm not being a troll. I'm just saying, like.
You're not yet. You're like Discount Destiny right now.
Oh, you watch Destiny. That's so cute. See, this is where it comes out. Okay, chat. This is why he's acting like this, by the way, so you guys understand.
No, it's not why I'm acting like this. I'm trying to have a real conversation with you, and you're being a child, dude. You're just being a prick.
I'm sorry you're offended, brother. These issues matter.
I'm offended by your lack of respect for another human being trying to have an honest conversation with
I respect human beings. That's why I don't. That's why. Calm down,
man.
brother.
Go fuck yourself, man. I can't stand people like you. I'm trying to meet you middle way and be like, hey,
I'm relaxing.
Respect each other. I'm trying to say we can respect each other, and you don't want to respect nobody. So how the fuck am I supposed to respect you now? So go fuck yourself.
Bro, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm sorry I'm not going to end the conversation when you're, like, saying that, like, immigrants are dirty, filthy animals. Like, sorry. You're using Lake and Riley's name for political reasons. And then, like, I bring up... It's whatever. Like, chill. Oh, man. Destiny is live. He's trying to wrap it up. 2 rage quits in a row. True. Snowflake, I don't. Listen, man, I think we can come together as Americans. Anyways, I think we should kill people for fun. Like, no, no, I don't respect that. I don't respect you. No, chill. Jeff, 10 memberships. Thank you, Jeff. I got him heated. Thank you. Appreciate it. Jeff, with all the super chats, too. Thank you, Jeff. I'm sorry, but we're not going to have a friendly end after you, like... When you bring up Lake and Riley, you are essentially blaming every single immigrant for the crime of one immigrant when we know immigrants are by far less likely to commit crime than U.S. citizens. And it's like, you do that intentionally to poison the well, to make people view immigrants as rapists and killers. That's why you say that, right? That's why you say that. We're not ending on that point and being like, we respect each other. No, I don't respect that point. Any adult should be able to look at that and realize what you're doing and like realize what the actual like conversation should be there. I'm not giving them, they get so mad, bro. Jeff's paying out the ad. Jeff is awesome, dude. Jeff is King Jeff. King Jeff, bro. King Jeff is all we need. King Jeff, King Jeff, King Jeff. King Jeff, King Jeff, King Jeff, King Jeff. Woo. Let's go, King Jeff. All right. He thought he earned your respect, probably the original debate. I mean, he called me I'm gonna restart the short stream for the second half. I'm gonna stream till like 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, probably. But I want to restart the short stream and take one more call, or maybe not. I don't know if I have enough time to really restart it and still get a stream going. I just like Trump did secure 46% of the gay vote. I like your viewpoints, but I dislike the way you debate. You should try having a little more respect. Okay, I'm blocking you. I don't care. Goodbye. You should have more respect. I hate tone policers. I hate tone policers, bro. I hate tone policers. Like, no, I'm not debating someone. Or, yeah, when he calls me, I'm using literally I have the most monotone, bored voice ever. And he calls me emotional during the conversation. And he's like, you're like Discount Destiny. I'm like, chill, bro. Like, calm down. Like, no. I block him because he's annoying. I'd rather you disagree. I'd rather you disagree than to be annoying. Charlie Kirk is a liar, and he's a neo-Nazi. Because he's a... Charlie Kirk wants to roll back the civil rights movement. Okay, go to the horizontal stream really quick. I'm going to restart this one time. Because we usually do that for halftime, so we're going to do it today. Streaming a little bit earlier today. So I can go sleep. Like a normal person for once. I tried to save you. Alright, go there first. Monotone doesn't equal emotionless?